Right, okay, I'm going to tie a little shrimpy pattern now. So I'm going to use this, I'm going to use the grip 14711BL as my hook, and so I'll get that mounted first. I mean, there's no reason. Scud hook. So this is a lighter wire, so it gives you the ability to move the fly through the water nicely. Okay, get the mounted nicely. Now I'm using a nano silk from Semperfly. I'm using the red one. I'll tell you for why. I just want a bit of pink underneath it there, so when you see the thread shining through, it'll be the pink thread you see, and also it means I'll have a little bit of a pink head, ready pink head tied on at when I finish the fly off. That's a good sign. I've lost my scissors already. And actually this nano silk is quite brutal on scissors, so it's tough old silk, so best not to use your finest finest scissors. Right, and run right the way down as far as you can. Now I'm going to put just a couple of orange fibres in for a tail, purely from the point of view that these killer shrimp at Grafham have got just a hint of orange, little hot orange tweezers, nippers at the back there, and so just catch it in initially with a winging turn. That's it, and just a little hint of orange at the back of the fly there. Run forward again, taking the material right the way along the back of the fly. So I like to run my materials the full length of the fly so that it gets rid of any lumps and bumps. Now I'm going to rib the fly. With the Sabai flat wire. Now if you get to try this flat wire, it's a terrific wire. It pushes the material down, holds the material in place, and actually it's got a bit of substance to it. Because it's flat, you get a better ribbing without adding too much weight. I'm not particularly worried about weight on this pattern, but it's I think it gives you a good ribbing material. So I'm going to get that tied in. So basically you tie in the last thing that you bring forward is the first thing you tie in. So take it right the way down to where you finished off, remembering to try and avoid catching that point. Now for this occasion I'm going to use the grip back straps for the body. These are quite a nice little flexible material to put across the back. Plenty of give in them. They're not adhesive, but there's plenty of give in the material, and so it shapes around the body of the fly well. So again, holding the material initially in place with what I call a winging loop, and so you put a couple of loops on and then you get the material tied in, and then once again running back to where you started the fly. Don't know if you can see, but you can see how nice and shiny this material is. Now I'm going to I'm using my Scotty prepared beeswax. This is a natural product, just a little bit of an application of the beeswax helps the dubbing stick. I'm just going to make a dubbing noodle straight on there, and I'm going to be using this Sabai product, the Flash Nymph. I'm using a yellowy mustard colour, as much just for a bit of contrast, if anything. The nice thing about this Flash Nymph is that it's just got the right mix of a natural fibre. There's plenty of guard hairs in it, but you've just got a little bit of flash in there, because you don't want it to, this is a natural fly. You don't want to put too much flash into it. Okay, so can you see I'm preparing my noodle along the wax thread, and you can see how well that fits, that sticks on. I'll just catch the end of the noodle in, and then I can improve the noodle of dubbing. Whoops, just broke away from the thread there. Okay, so there are several ways you can dub. You say this is one way of doing it, with making a noodle, just catching it in. That's it. Just making a noodle down the wax thread, and that allows you to take your dubbing right the way forward. And just get rid of the excess. Okay. Now, this is the back, and as I say, the nice thing about this grip material is it wraps well around the body that you've created, and just get it tied in. Ooh. As I say, I've got this red thread on, so I'm going to have a nice little bit of a red head on here. Just get the material well caught in, don't want that coming adrift. It's very tough material, so the fly that you tie with it will last. No point in tying flies just for catching one fish. Right, okay, I've started making my head. Just make sure that's sitting down well. And now my thread I'm taking over the top. Now I'm going to put the same way around with my wire, so that when I get to the head and I catch it in, I'm keeping the tension on the wire. Just coming through, segmenting the body into 5 or 6 sections. I don't think they can count trout, but really you don't want the sections too small. Alright, and another thing you see with this flat wire, when you catch it in, it doesn't make a big lump in the head where you've caught your wire in, and I can afford just to fold it round and finish the head off. Okay, these aren't very valuable scissors. I would helicopter it off, but I'll just snip it away. Alright, and so there we go. Just now build up the head a little bit, check that the body's nice and round. Right, just lift him up a bit so you can see his little orange tail there. And there you are, very simple little shrimp, simple little shrimp pattern that will work well on Grafham. Little bit of untidiness over the eye there. I'll just tidy that up. Now you can see this dubbing, how well it sticks out. I've not touched that with a dubbing brush or anything like that. It's just the natural way it is, but we can pick it out a little bit more with the dubbing needle in a minute. That's fine. And just to finish off, just a little touch of varnish on that, and that will make that little head just glisten a little bit. Always remember, just a fine, tiny little bit of varnish to start off with, just all you need there on the front of the fly. And there you are. So very simple little shrimp pattern, just using this grip back strap just to finish it off. And as I say, a little bit of, you can't really see that, a little bit of glitter in there from the Sabai flash nymph dubbing. Okay, thank you very much.